Have you ever noticed something strange about your mind? Sometimes life is actually okay. Nothing is falling apart, nothing is urgently wrong, there is no immediate danger, and yet your mind refuses to relax. Thoughts keep looping, scenarios keep playing, questions keep repeating. You replay conversations that already ended, you imagine problems that haven't happened, you jump between past mistakes and future worries at the same time. And the most confusing part is that you don't even know why you're doing it. You ask yourself, why can't I just enjoy this moment? Why does my mind keep searching for something wrong? Most people believe overthinking happens because life is hard, because problems exist, because something is broken. But the truth is deeper than that. Overthinking often appears when life is calm, not chaotic, and that's what makes it dangerous. Because it teaches your brain that peace itself is unsafe. Silence feels suspicious, stillness feels uncomfortable, calm feels like something you shouldn't trust. So instead of resting, your mind creates noise, and slowly you start living more inside your head than in your life. Here's the truth most people never hear. Overthinking is not a personality flaw, it's not low intelligence, and it's not weakness. Overthinking is a survival skill that stayed active longer than it was supposed to. At some point in your life, thinking ahead helped you feel safe. Predicting danger felt like protection. Preparing for the worst felt like control. Maybe you were rejected, embarrassed, criticized, or left uncertain, and your brain learned one rule very early. If I think more, I might prevent pain. And that strategy worked back then. But the problem is this: your brain never updated the system. Your mind does not care if you are happy, it cares if you are safe. And safety to the brain means predictability. When life becomes quiet and stable, your brain feels useless. There is nothing to scan, nothing to fix, nothing to solve. So it creates work, thoughts, worries, scenarios, not to hurt you, but to stay relevant. That's why overthinking feels productive even while destroying your peace. It feels like preparation. It feels responsible. It feels like control. Your brain tells you, if I just think a little more, I'll avoid pain. What it doesn't tell you is that constant thinking creates pain of its own. Mental exhaustion, anxiety, restlessness, emotional burnout. You're not tired because life is hard. You're tired because your mind never stops working. Overthinking also creates the illusion of control in situations where you actually have none. You can't control outcomes, other people, or the future, but thinking makes it feel like you're doing something. So your brain chooses thinking over peace, because thinking feels active and peace feels passive, and your brain interprets passivity as danger. This is why telling yourself to stop overthinking never works. From your brain's perspective, you're asking it to give up protection, to stop scanning, to stop preparing, to stop preventing pain. That feels reckless to the nervous system, so it resists. The more you force calm, the louder the thoughts become, because overthinking is not a habit you chose, it's a defense system you inherited from your past. And here's the deeper layer. Overthinking is not about the future, it's about unresolved experiences from the past. Your mind keeps looping because it never felt safe enough to let go. It keeps replaying, hoping that one day thinking will bring closure. But thinking doesn't resolve emotional memory, awareness does. That's why even when your life improves, better routine, better job, better relationships, your mind doesn't slow down. Because the danger your brain reacts to is not present danger, it's remembered danger. And remembered danger doesn't disappear just because circumstances change. It disappears when your nervous system learns that you are no longer the person who needed that level of protection. Overthinking is not your enemy, it's a signal that your brain is still living in an older version of your life. A version where being alert was necessary and letting your guard down was risky. And until you understand that, you'll keep fighting your thoughts instead of understanding them. If overthinking were just bad thinking, you could fix it by thinking better, but you already know that doesn't work. You've tried distraction, staying busy, positive thinking, and still, the moment things slow down, your mind speeds up again. That's because overthinking doesn't live in your thoughts, it lives in your nervous system. Your brain isn't asking, "Is everything okay?" It's asking, "Is it safe to stop watching?" So the real goal is not to silence your mind, but to teach your brain that calm is not dangerous. Silence feels threatening to a brain trained by uncertainty, so it creates noise. The solution is not force, it's safety. The first shift is changing what silence means to your brain. You don't shut thoughts down, you let your nervous system settle. That's why forcing meditation or stillness often backfires. You put your system into silence without teaching it safety first, so it panics. Instead, you build safety in motion. When your mind races, do something small and physical. Stand up, change rooms, touch something solid. This tells your nervous system, "I'm here, I'm grounded, I'm safe." Overthinking slows when the body feels safe, not when the mind is argued with. The second shift is noticing the trigger moment, not the thought. Thoughts are the effect, not the cause. Overthinking usually starts with a subtle trigger, a tone change, a delay, a look, a memory. Your body reacts before your mind does. When you feel that first tightness, pause and name the sensation, not the story. This is tension. This is alertness. Naming sensation brings you back into the present, and presence breaks the loop. The third shift is ending mental rehearsal. Overthinkers rehearse conversations, outcomes, explanations, because rehearsal feels like preparation, but your brain can't tell the difference between rehearsal and reality. Every replay keeps your nervous system activated. So the rule becomes simple. If it's not happening right now, it doesn't deserve rehearsal, not suppression, postponement. Then comes the hardest truth. Peace feels boring at first. Overthinkers mistake calm for emptiness because their identity is built around alertness. When the mind quiets, it feels like something is missing, but that's not emptiness, it's unused mental space. And unused space feels uncomfortable before it feels peaceful. This is why people return to overthinking even after learning how to calm down, not because they want stress, but because stress feels familiar. Familiar feels safe. That's why identity matters. If you see yourself as someone who overthinks, your brain will protect that identity. Replace it with a softer truth. My mind learned to protect me, and now it's learning to rest. Overthinking doesn't end when life becomes perfect. It ends when your brain learns that imperfection is survivable. You don't need certainty, guarantees, or all the answers. You need trust, not in outcomes, but in yourself. The moment your brain trusts that you can handle discomfort, it stops trying to prevent it. And that's when thinking becomes a tool again, not a cage. You were never broken. You were never weak. You were protecting yourself longer than necessary, and now you're allowed to rest. If this video helped you understand your overthinking, comment, "My mind can rest," because that sentence is not just a comment, it's a message to your nervous system. And if you want the next video where we break down real-life overthinking situations and exactly what to do in the moment, subscribe. Your mind was built to protect you. Now it's time to teach it peace.